All right, I'm here with Mark, and he's been working on some scripts to help clean up font projects, and his work in progress is sort of little GUI. So Mark is going to talk us through what he's been doing, and maybe this can provide some sort of early documentation insight into his process.
So at the moment, I've been working on fixing a few font projects, and during that process, there's been a lot of repetitive tasks that can be automated via scripting. So I have started writing a repository of scripts to help me get through this process. At the moment, they're mainly to help designers and myself going through on the source fonts as glyph files. So if I just open up Play, one font which we've been working on, and Sublime Text, so we can just zoom in. So the problem with glyphs is really, really good for designing fonts. However, there's nothing really there to test anything in the fonts. There's a lot of really cool automatically generated stuff, but there's no way to tell if the fonts that maybe you're inheriting and working on are any good. You could manually look for this stuff yourself, but since glyphs comes with a Python API, it's much easier to write a collection of scripts. So on my GitHub profile, there is a collection of scripts. However, yesterday, Dave Crossland said it would probably be easier if we combine these scripts and have a user interface that we can just run. So for today, I've been combining all of my scripts into some general user interface that people can use, which has checkboxes on it. And at the moment, it doesn't fix. It will fix eventually. But if we run it, we can check things like the metadata in the font. Like we have a whole specification checklist, which was written by Dave before I came onto the project. And my QAing scripts are based around this checklist. We can probably throw in a link at the end of this. So this checks against that, but there's quite a lot to read. And if you're going to remember all of this stuff, it's going to be impossible with all the human error to get it consistent across every family. So by default, all the checks have been written up as their own individual scripts. So we can look at things like, we can check vertical metrics based on different schemes that we were discussing. We can check if there are duplicated glyphs, etc. But what I've been working on today is making this all into a UI which links all of these scripts. So each checkbox is a script. And by default, all the checks are enabled. So it will check our GF spec, the checklist which Dave wrote. So if I just hit click, check, it brings up just an output of what is passing and what is clearing. This is still a work in progress. I still need to link the other scripts and refine them a bit better, but the end goal is instead of this taking someone half a day to do, it will just take them 10 seconds by running this script. It's also going to be very loosely coupled, so other foundries and other people in the type community can write their own specifications in a YAML document and then check against that. So they're not hard-coded to our specification. They can write their own specifications. Okay, that was quite a mouthful.
Sorry.
If you could just repeat that.
So what I was saying was, that's great, and I think next steps maybe adding a second column. So as you're adding in the fix functionality,
yeah,
there's a column for running the check, and then there's another column for running the fix,
mm-hmm.
And so that you could just sort of run it with no checking,
yeah,
enabled, see what the issues are, maybe fix things by hand. maybe
Mhm.
you know, apply some specific auto fixes, run it again,
Yeah.
and then you know run it again and you know get everything passing. And the Glyphs API has this you know undo point system, so you can call an undo step, start and end in a script.
Yeah.
I think that can be very helpful, you know, so that designers can see, like in the undo history, what the script has done and potentially undo some things.
Yes.
If the script, you know, has sort of not done things the way that they would.
Totally. This is why I don't want just like one hot fix button that you just smash. Because it's too much of a hammer, in my opinion.
Yep.
There needs to be some checking before. And in the screencast that I will make running through these tools, I'll show designers and people who are interested in these tools how you should use it, when you should do a Git commit, when you should push your repo, when to run the tool, like all the safety checks amongst the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it's going to be very nice.
Yeah, and so I think the integration of Font Bakery could be good. So you know, you can script the font export to a temporary folder and then run Font Bakery on that.
It's also with Felipe's Font Bakery, he has the old metrics in there, which are the 125%. I've already written the functions for Calliope scheme and colored scheme. Those can be recycled in his tools if he wants to. So we probably need to write a common library. I don't know how this is exactly going to work at the moment. Because what I have is, I had a collection of scripts. Those are now used as like little modules that get imported into this UI one. So everything is not bundled into one script. Everything is like a module pretty much. So I need to talk to Felipe to see, because the problem we're going to have soon is we're going to be writing over each other's bits and we're just going to be repeating ourselves. So it might be good to sync the two together before we go too far.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been quite interesting to see how much I've already written just to get the few fonts that I did manually over this week to get this stuff going. It's good though. It's very good.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm meant to be here, come the fingers, away.
Yeah.
I'll be off enjoying myself flying, but in the evening, I've actually got to have this up for the next round because it's going to help. It's going to be so much easier just to get this stuff cranked.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I think, you know, we, you know, for the next week, Thomas is working on Maven, working on Nonito, working on Rocket, working on it in Consolata. You know, Nguyen is going to be working on, you know, Vietnamese stuff.
Yes.
That I don't think anyone is, you know, needing you to do anything. So please don't feel obligated to work while you're, you know, away.
I want to combine all the scripts together. I'm just going to work on this QAing stuff now because it's going to make stuff a hell of a lot easier for the next weeks.
Yeah, we can figure out, you know, you can take another Friday off in the future or
something. It doesn't matter. We can work. It's fun. It's good.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So when you get back, then there's a bunch of sort of round 3, you know, candidates. So yeah, I think we'll sort of be off the bug fixing a little bit.
That's cool.
Larsa is going to also be away for the next 2 weeks as well. So I will probably sort of I've got quite a lot of contracting stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much progress I'm going to make on fixing bugs. So yeah, I think we'll be good, so that when you get back, we'll sort of switch gears a bit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
I mean,
that last month. So that's that sort of last month is really where we're gonna have, you know, sort of a clear like 4 weeks. You know, I think it's going to be maybe 7 weeks to focus then on the bug fixing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think everyone's happy with this approach. You know, there's going to be a break for a couple of weeks now, but I think we have a clear direction for what we're going to do. In the future.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to you guys for letting me have the time to develop the tools to actually crack this stuff, because without it, it's just so bad. It is so bad.
Yeah, it's why it hasn't been done already. No one
No.
Nice. All right. Well, great. I'll leave it here.
Excellent. I'm having a lovely beer at the moment, which is good. It's 6:30 here.